Udo who has called in, but I wanted you to establish some timeline facts, because what we hear online, and most people online, they just believe that since 2015 he's been held for so long, and they don't understand the timeline when he was given bail, when he jumped bail, and all that. So I wanted to establish that. But let me take this phone call. Udo, welcome to the show. Good morning. Hello.
Yeah, hello, good morning.
Good morning. Welcome to the show.
Yeah, thank you very much, TBC, for giving us time to speak to you on this very important topic. My name is Udo, and I'm calling from Jabi in Abuja.
Okay.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Go ahead with your contribution.
Okay, thank you very much, TBC, for the good work you do. GT. Yesterday was a turning point in Southeast, in southern Nigeria and in the whole country. But I'm one of those who believe in the rule of law. I've always cited in my social media pages that the day we start dragging public officials and Nigerians before the court, South Africa drags the consumer, the former president, and docked him for wrongdoing. That is when Nigeria will be okay. The day former presidents and former governors will ask for the crimes they committed, that is the day that Nigeria will be very okay. Law for everyone, not law for some. My only problem, my only worry is, I hope that the federal government will also grant this one that kidnapped children from Niger State. They are just getting busy. I don't know how it is. The ones that shot people in the Eriku, and the ones that are rampaging the roads and Parakedi and up north, killing people left, right, and I hope they will also be charged and imprisoned for life, so that this tension that this has generated will calm down. But it takes me to my second point. I lost my mother in 2006 because of medical complicity. Today, I find it very hard to convince the doctor and the hospital. Now, my question is, I know that people are defending the Kanu because of one thing or the other, one interest or the other. But how do I explain to the family of Baraki that adherents of Nnamdi Kanu gone down their family? I have a senior old boy in my secondary school, and a 3-year-old nuclear physicist. He was gone down in front of Federal University of Federal Polytechnic Oko. He didn't observe the at home on Monday. This old man, a grandfather, was gone down in front of his wife. I have friends whose businesses have been run down, families destroyed. And my only problem with what Nnamdi Kanu did, as you were saying, was the tactics. And then the people that claim they were listening to you, we are running amok. And you couldn't open your mouth to say, stop this. And like the judge asked yesterday, how can you defend people you are fighting for? Ask the question. If I'm telling you that my mother died in 2006, until today, anytime I get past the hospital that led to her death, I look the other way. I find it very hard. I feel close to convince those people that did this to her. She lived 3 years after the medical mess that they did to her. So I'm now wondering how you kill 5 members of the family because we didn't observe it at home. And you're telling me to sympathize with somebody who has been sent to life imprisonment. Is it a overkill? I think so. Was the judgment too hard? I think so. Was 20 years imprisonment okay? I think so. But was life imprisonment okay? I don't know. But my question is, how do you explain? I have a friend who is the distributor of NPL products. If he's supposed that every Saturday and Sunday, he assembles his stock at night mile to take things from there to Abia, Port Harcourt, Bayelsa. I don't want to tell you how many of his stock he has gone down. He stopped doing that business when his driver was shot in the bed in Abia State and stock brought down. Because somebody said he's fighting for me. Before now, I used to go to Anambra 4 times a year. That's minimum. Since this challenge started, I just managed to get to Anambra twice, maybe Christmas and then Easter, and that's all. I saved my life. And finally, God, I won't waste your time. There are communities that are coming back to their villages today because of some who do that to Homeland Security Bill in Anambra State. That was the reason why my type of person supported Solution for second term, because the clampdown we made on these idiots that we, I'm sorry, please, the clampdown we made on these people that we are killing people, places in India, Libya, also so many areas in places in that area, boundary between India, Anambra State, Yala, and Imo State. They don't go to their parents. They run national marriage in Lagos, in Abuja, in Kanu, because they cannot go. So you take taxation and pay money to beg their father or their mother. We lost a brother who was commissioner of police. They had to take permission to bury him in Iyala. They did the same from in Lagos as he take it. They ran away. So somebody is not telling me because one judge decided to, have some balls of steel to make a pronouncement. They now say they are killing me both. I just asked my colleague, what is he in his family?
I feel, I honestly, I hear you, and I think that's what the show is about. Every view should count. But we'll take a break right now. When we return, we continue with the conversation. Stay with us, we'll be right back. Welcome back, and thanks for staying with us. So we had the last caller, Udo, and his own view is a bit different from some of the Eastern leaders that I have heard, because he's speaking from personal experience as someone that is from the East and has stories that we probably, it doesn't make it into mainstream, but we all know that there were issues with that sit-at-home implementation and the impact on the lives of even examinations were not able to be written during the sit-at-home situation. But Abigail, you wanted to say something?
Yeah, I kind of feel because of the timing, that's why this is much of a big issue, because what the sentiments out there is, okay, because it's in Nnamdi Kanu now, the judgment is faster. The judgment has been done and he's been given. That's the sentiment outside. If you listen to many people talk and even you read comments online, that's what they say. They now start citing names. Okay, what about the, I don't want to mention names now. What about this one from the north negotiating with bandits? What about this? Everyone is saying that. What have they done to them? So you will, if you listen to so many people, you will see the sentiments. And that's the ethnic sentiment that we've been talking about. And this ethnic sentiment has been since we can remember the Civil War. We remember what caused the Civil War. A group of people finally felt or are feeling like they've been marginalized. And as time went by, years go by, they're expecting that, okay, we will still be seen as one Nigeria, but you're not bringing us into the system as Nigeria. It's okay for somebody to feel, okay, you're not bringing me in, I'm feeling a type of way. So it's now the responsibility of the state to now make people feel seen and heard. Because the major problem where this whole inciting and this chaos started was the marginalization of the people from the East, saying that Easterners cannot occupy certain positions, they cannot be this. The approach Nnamdi took, we will say, is wrong, because up until today, you still have Eastern Security Network, you still have IPOB, people can't go home. The Easterners are complaining, the ones who have the boss. It's just that the time it's happening now, so many other things are happening, and the Easterners and some people with sentiments are saying, okay, it don't reach our turn as normal now, this is what you're now doing. Now, this will take me back 30 years ago. We just talked about the Ogoni Welfare Association celebrating their third decade. What was Ken Saro-Wiwa were fighting for? He was fighting for the survival of the Ogoni people. You come to a land, we have oil, you're exploring oil, fine. Why do you now explore and leave us to waste? We can't drink water, we don't have good places, we don't have good air. You're not even compensating us. It ended, that is still November. Ken Saro-Wiwa, I think it was around November 10 that it was executed in 1995. And this is November 2. So he came out to agitate. Now, they have still come to say, this thing that we were fighting for, it hasn't been done. So away from prosecution, the law must take its course. We all agree, because where your rights end is where another person's own starts. And you shouldn't be in danger my life, you know. So the law has to prove itself that it's fair across board. It has to prove itself that, okay, this caused chaos some years ago. As a reference, let's do these things and uproot those things that made this. Deal with the issues and make sure that these issues don't reoccur. That is what people are asking for. The judgment in itself, I don't think it's much about the judgment. It's about the personality, the person, and the cause. That's what the sentiment is.
Let me take Yakubu, who has called in from Dokwemu. Welcome to the show this morning. Good morning, Mr. Yakub, Alhaji Yakub. You are live.
Yeah. Good morning, and then good morning, everyone in the studio.
Good morning.
Yeah. For me, I think the judgment that I listened to yesterday, because I follow it from the beginning to the end. Even though when the NEPA took up the light, I found another means to follow it up. It is a long judgment, and then the judge go as far back as almost 10 years ago, 5 years ago, beginning to read it line by line. But one thing caught my attention yesterday. When the judge was asking, you were saying, as the last caller said, you were saying that you were fighting for people, and then the same people, you were killing them. So, you see, Ogoniland that my sister just mentioned earlier, just now, it's quite different from this. The kind of this world, we are fighting for them to be compensation because of the resources that the Nigerian government as they were taking from their land. Even though it was executed by wrongly executed, and then it is quite different from this. See, my sister, this kind of a judgment, it is a welcome development. I stand to be corrected, even though you still have opportunity to appeal the judgment. Fine, it can go either way or there. But I can tell you, the only reservation I have is that yesterday, if you could remember, we discussed something like this yesterday, even though I couldn't cut in. And then I could remember BC mentioned something yesterday. When those people, they were giving judgment, I think they're giving them 20 years or thereabouts. Those Boko Haram that they were conflicting.
Yes, I remember.
I think last week or thereabouts. See, these people, our opinion as well, my opinion is the same thing as what BC said yesterday. Because these people go all out and killing people. How could you now say that you are giving them 20 years imprisonment and all that? And then before you know, they will be serving and come back, and then you want to integrate them back to the society. What do you go to tell the family that they are already killed? This is an injustice. And then for me, if you can give Nnamdi Kanu life imprisonment, I stand to be corrected. What you need to do to those ones as well is to give them life imprisonment, even though you don't want to kill them. But for me, if I have my way, whoever does kill, he must go, because you cannot just carry arms and taking someone's father's life, someone's mother's life, and killing somebody's children. So,
thank you so much, Yakub. So it's a bit. I hear him, and I like the connection in that, because some people also in the Vanguard were saying that it seemed like Nigeria has a different law for Southeast, that's from Igbo women, and there's double standard, that's from Ono. And the double standard is coming from this kind of scenario where terrorists that were caught under Boko Haram and all of the other bandits was given 20 years imprisonment, and then you now give Nnamdi Kanu life imprisonment. But you know, every judgment they will tell you the counts. Every judgment they will tell you the charges.
Different.
Yes.
So you know, yesterday we're together. I was saying it that you cannot charge somebody for a terrorist act that led to the loss of lives and just charge him for, you know, certain aspects of his association with the group, as opposed to, you know, the life that he took, whether by directly or indirectly by association. And so we're saying that, you know, we have to have that law that now provides for those offenses to extend the punishment. If you are caught in any way around banditry, kidnapping, public general execution, all of them should have death sentence. Let me just put Nnamdi Kanu's case in perspective. Nnamdi Kanu has a very good grounds of appeal. He has 90 days of appeal, which he can, you know, go to the appeal court. This was a federal high court judgment. And from there, he can still appeal to the Supreme Court on this judgment if he doesn't get, you know, exonerated or, you know, have the conviction quashed. But he also has one of the grounds that is defense and put him before he sacked them. You see why you cannot joke with your lawyers. And when your lawyers are defending you in court, there's something called remain silent. You know, he did too much he damaged his case himself. And that we must admit. When his lawyers put his defense together, they remember that the law at the time he was arrested was the 2013 law on terrorism. That law was repealed, I think 2021 or 2022. And so they were coming to the court to say there's no law anymore. And they brought Section 36 of the Constitution to say that the law at the time of the offense of his crime was no longer existing. And you cannot try him. His lawyers were doing a good job. But he sacked them. He kept sacking them and damaged his own case. So now maybe when he's on appeal, he will allow his lawyers do their work, which is what lawyers do. You know, it's a technicality that people must praise them for, whether we like it or not. They know how, they know the law, they know what the law means, they know how to interpret it, and they know how to bring it before a judge. So there are ways lawyers will talk to a judge, and the judge will listen. It's the matter before the judge. But when you are talking yourself, you are telling the judge, do not listen to technicalities of my defense, listen to only me and your emotions. And sometimes you force a judge, because Justice Bitter, several other federal court judges did not want this matter. It was a young pepper scatter. Every judge was, trying to get themselves out. So we must even the terms of Justice James Omotosho for going ahead. So now when you go on appeal, maybe when they bring that part of the non-existence of that law at the time, maybe there will be a way out.
So we'll take a quick break right now. When we return, we talk about healing after this. We'll talk about how to deal with the issue that Nnamdi Kanu rode on, which is still on ground. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Welcome back, and thanks for staying with us. We're still discussing about the judgment of Nnamdi Kanu being sentenced to life imprisonment at the Federal High Court. And we wanted to move a bit away from the conversation of the person, Nnamdi, and his agitation. But we cannot avoid the fact that his agitation garnered followers, because there was an underlying discontent within the Southeast that he rode on. So while IPOB is about the independent people of Biafra, which is calling for a secession, they want to be separated from Nigeria, there were the agitations that led to that was because they felt that the Easterners are not getting leadership positions high enough within the country, and many other issues around marginalization. These were the sentiments that created IPOB, and Nnamdi Kanu rode on those sentiments. If we now say IPOB is proscribed, this is now a banned organization, this is now an illegal organization, how should the government address the underlying issues that the Southeasterners have raised for many years? And if I feel a bit, I'd like you to call in to join the conversation, because I can't understand it's like me trying to understand the responsibilities of being a man. I'm a woman. It's like me asking a man to understand the pain of pushing a child out. I do not think I can fully comprehend the challenge Southeasterners have gone through over the years, since when they had the Biafran War till date. But as someone that is a proponent of one Nigeria, as someone who has married across culture, I want a way where everybody that is in Nigeria feel like they are part of the country and do not feel disenfranchised or marginalized. How do we take Nigeria from where we are now to a place where everybody feels like part of the solution? What kind of leadership do we need? What kind of solutions can we put on the table?
Okay, so
Go ahead.
okay, so we have deviated from the topic, right? Because I have a lot to say, but I don't want to be misinterpreted, because I'm a northerner.
Please,
right?
I know,
so
before you say what you want, let me take Austin from Josh. When I finish listening to him, then we'll come back to you. Welcome to the show. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning. Auntie Dr. Nima and then Ramat.
Ramatu and Abigail.
And Abigail as well.
Good morning.
Well done. Thank you. I appreciate your effort. Your program, your view has been a very dedicated program. Just like, let me speak to Nnamdi Kalu's issue. Let me take away the person of Nnamdi Kalu. We understand that the whole circumstances that led to the verdict yesterday, Nnamdi Kalu, to a large extent, if you had followed that case, you will get to realize that he really did not pursue his cause the way he should pursue it. But what we are saying now is, let's take away the person. Like I said, let me take away the person of Nnamdi Kanu and look at the agitation on ground. What was those problems Nnamdi Kanu was fighting for? I'm not an Igbo person, but the truth remains that if you follow Nigerian politics over the years, you will realize that this part of the country, the eastern part of the country, has been marginalized. That's the truth. And if these people are saying they have been marginalized, they need their own country, as it were, and they have their valid reasons why they are agitating for a separation or a formation of a new state. The truth still remains. Why won't the government look into their issues? You talked about the Niger Delta issue 30 years down the line. They are still agitating for the thing that somebody was killed for. Karoriwa or what? I've forgotten his name. Now, my problem with the Nigerian government most of the time is they are always swift to play politics over sensitive issues. Now, even sending Nnamdi Kanu to life imprisonment, let me ask a question. Has this solved the problem in the East? In fact, it will even worsen the problem. That's the truth. Let them come to a round table. In fact, this would have been an opportunity for this government to score a major point. They would have bring these people to the table and say, okay, let's go into an agreement. These are your agitations. We are going to let this person go, Nnamdi Kanu. We are going to attend to this issue. We are going to handle these issues you have raised. Then we will see where this problem will be coming from. So sentence this man to life imprisonment, and the problem is just like throwing the baby with the bathwater.
Austin.
So, yes.
Austin.
Nima has a question for you, please.
Can you hear me?
Okay.
Yes, I can hear you. You said okay.
Do you believe that Nnamdi Kanu can sit at a table and agitate the real problems of the southeast, of the east, with the federal government? Is it the only individual who can sit at the table to agitate the cause of the Igbo man?
No. If you follow the news, I think 2 or 3 days ago, I saw on TVC, was it TVC or channels, where about 40 House of Rep members, I don't know if you remember that case.
Yes, I saw the House of Reps members, yes, I saw that.
Yes, 40 of them signed and then said they were requesting the president should call these people, let them speak. That is what leadership is all about, negotiation.
Okay, but you don't think that the criminal trial of this person who has been found for criminal offenses should have been concluded? You think it should have been allowed to go? He
felt it should be negotiated. Thank you so much, Austin, for that.
I was even going to still.
I think they should have used this to negotiate the issue.
I don't think so. You know, we were saying it yesterday. We shouldn't be clouding criminality with sentiments. If it's in court, they can still meet the agitations of
so we can address.
Yes, we can still address the issue.
It's like saying that we should negotiate with bandits and all of that.
That's being permissive of any crime.
We deal with the banditry and kidnappers, and then we go as a nation deal with the things that led to the problem, not educating and all of that.
Question.
Yeah.
I know we have to get to Ramatu.
Yeah.
Let's ask ourselves, you watching us and on this table, if we had left, or if the court has said, okay, Nnamdi Kanu, you're free to go. Do you think he would have gone back, reclined, and said no to violence? Let me do this the right way. Judging by everything we saw, the personality. Do you think he would have handled the Easterners better to say, okay, my people, make no fight again. Let peace reign. Do you think it would have happened?
It doesn't strike me as that kind
people
of
should answer for themselves. So you were saying something.
Yes, so I wanted to read a comment here that somebody wrote. He said, if we are all Nigerians, why must Nigeria allow OPC, Amotekun in Southwest, allow Arewa People's Congress, Miyetin Allah and Hizbah in the North, but says Igbo cannot have IPOB and ESN?
Let me say something.
Yeah.
Now, the Amotekun and the rest of them, I don't think there's any Amoteku person telling a Yoruba person, sit at home, don't go anywhere, irrespective.
Not disrupted.
They are trying to secure their forest, even though we know recently they've seen bad elements. You always have bad elements in these states. They are guided under a particular rule. The difference is this set of people, the IPOB, they tell you, we are the government. You must sit at home. When it all started, we saw videos. They get into the market for people who disobeyed, spray bullets, scatter their markets, causing and inflicting pains on their own people.
Thank you.
So tell me, how are you fighting for the people you're causing pain for? That's the difference. I was going to say, you made a comment, you were asking a question before that person called. How can we now make this not reoccur? I was saying something this morning that we go abroad, spend 5 years, 6 years, 7 years, and then you're getting the US visa, we flaunt our visa. I'm now an American citizen, I'm now a UK citizen. You're very proud as a Yoruba man, as an Ijaw man, Igbo man. Oh, I'm now a US citizen. It's easy. You're allowed to exist. And normally, universally, once you stayed at a place for almost 5, 6 years, you can actually apply to be an indigene. But if you notice, people say majorly, because the Igbo tribes, the Easterners, they usually exert themselves wherever they go. And I have always said that the mistakes of so many people shouldn't be used to judge one person, because the Igbos are quite very friendly people to live with, apart from some people who are very, they have the strong characters, they want to exert themselves. But judging other people because of experiences of maybe a few or minute few is not fair. Now, what I would be thinking is the states will now be more friendly to everyone, not just the Igbos alone. The Niger Delta are not really talking, because if you notice, the South region, when did they now get the opportunity to get the presidential ticket? Are they talking about it anytime soon? So even these Southerners, they were marginalized at some point, but they are coming out. That's why I said sometimes strategy is better than violence. There was a time in this Lagos when they were saying we will throw the Igbos in the Third Mainland Bridge, Igbos must go, and all those kind of stuff. Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. So things like this, government shouldn't sit down and feel like, okay, let's just let it pass. Statements like that should be put in check. People marginalizing other people just because they feel you're from a tribe should be put in check. There should be guidelines, there should be laws protecting all individuals as Nigerians, not because you're more favored, you're not because you're from the north, you're more pampered than the one from the east. This is what our government will have to work on, the unity of everyone and the acceptance of every tribe as Nigerians. And not like the East, the West, and all that. All 6 regions should come together and love themselves and work together. From the north, you're giving us the food we are eating. We appreciate you. We appreciate your religion. We appreciate your culture. But then when you move towards the West, accept my culture, accept my food. Do not judge me because of what you think you know or what I know. Intolerance.
Let me take Ferdinand,
so
then
we have to work on that.
Continue the conversation. Mr. Ferdinand, welcome to the show.
Thank you, madam. You are blessed.
Amen.
You see, that madam that spoke last.
Oh, Abigail, you are the one they blessed.
All of us are blessed.
All of us collect the blessing.
That kept me waiting. All those are preaching. People have preached that. It didn't work. Let me just contribute to what happened yesterday. You see, the other Alaja that is fat, that Alaja, she is very, very intelligent. Even as though a human being, sometimes she may brush some side as a human being. Yes, then she is very intelligent.
Thank you.
The fact of that trial yesterday.
Ooh. Oh, Mr. Ferdinand complimented all of us, and then we did not get his contribution. They said you were preaching, Abigail.
But this preaching is, see, let me tell you,
we all need it.
It's important, and there's no region. You know what I did not like going to school in Lagos is that they told us there were 3 major languages.
And you feel like...
So the other languages are not languages. There were some major regions. You know, all of those divides existed. I remember then, even people of this Bendel back then when we were little, our parents used to drum it in our ears that we are from this place, we are a people, we exist, we matter. You know, the government must be seen to carry everybody along, but every region must also play the politics. So to get the seat should not be based on just it's my turn sentiment. Women have been advocating for a reserved seat. We cannot, 30%. Is that how we want to do this politics of everybody? Every region must play that politics. If every region has a candidate, they must campaign and fight for the same seats.
How about we have like a vice president from the southeast? Would that be like a
It's
good
important.
would that pacify?
That would be important.
Yeah, so I think that we should, yes, because I personally am going to say that to a large extent they feel marginalized. They are always saying it, they are marginalized, and they are always if you are on Twitter, you notice they are always complaining that they are not being given a chance.
Twitter started because of this IPOB agitation by Nnamdi Kanu. The divide on Twitter, you don't even want to try to.
Yes, I understand. But the truth is that if only they can be united themselves and bring out relevant stakeholders from their various communities to come and represent them and go and have a sit down and talk and say, okay, this is what we want, this is how we want it. Can we be part of the government? Can we participate? How do we get in and participate properly and also win? Look at what happened in this their party that came. I think, when you see some parties, you know that some parties come from certain regions. Yeah. There's this particular party that comes from that particular region. You can see it has scattered.
Many parties, even PDP said, don't scatter.
That particular one, and they can see that they are being recognized. So you'll be expecting that they will push the narrative, help and all of that. But you find that
I don't think that we need a party from a particular region would solve the problem. I honestly like the message of Abigail. It might sound like she's preaching, it might sound like it might not work, but that is what we need. That's what we need. There was a former staff of TVC group, Ayo Woduni, who went to Canada, became a citizen, contested, became a councillor. Yeah. And there's no way you would deny his sense of ownership of that country because they've accepted him. They gave him opportunity to lead a group of people. He campaigned, he won. And any region that is not able to freely do that would feel like they are being marginalized. So I think that, for me, is the long-term problem that the country needs to address. Also, it will be a case of education, it will be a case of empowerment, non-partial empowerment across, non-partial infrastructural development across the entire Nigeria. The case still has, you said it has how many days? 90 days to appeal the case. I would appeal to my brothers and sisters from the Southeast to take a position that unites the country, a position that preserves their life, a position that brings them progress. And let's not divide ourselves or fight ourselves long term. Let's wait for the court to follow let's wait for the rule of law to manage the situation. We'll take a quick break. When we return, we go into another topic. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.